Shalom again! It's time for Hanukkah, which is right around the corner, the Festival of Lights. For today's episode, we are making one of my favorite Hanukkah treats, Latkes. 2 different style latkes. There they are. I made my go-to recipe that I've been making many years, but then I was looking for a recipe that is sort of a mixture of the grated potatoes and mashed potatoes, and sure enough, the chef Andrew Zimmern came through with honestly, what is now my favorite latke recipe. I'm gonna show you how to do both for Super Chef Dad Hanukkahs. Ow, ow, ow.
My daddy is Superman and Batman. Keep rolling.
So we could totally grate the potatoes by hand, but it's a lot easier to use your food processor. First recipe, little more classic, just grated potatoes and onion. It's like a potato rabbit.
I want to make that like a bowl of water, like a puppy.
I prefer not to be licked like a bowl of water. Okay, there you go. All right, that's it. All done. All right, all the potatoes are nicely grated. All right. Don't worry, they don't have potatoes in medical school. You do want to squeeze out as much liquid from the potatoes as possible. Now here's a cool trick, and this applies to either recipe. We squeezed our potatoes, and you can see the liquid that comes out oxidizes almost immediately, but can you see this white stuff in the bottom of the bowl? That's potato starch, right? It's already been hydrated, and this is gonna be the perfect binder to mix back in with our potatoes and the matzo meal to hold our latkes together. Original extra crispy. For our original recipe potatoes, 1 pound of grated potatoes, half a large onion, matzo meal, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 egg in here as well. For recipe number 2, we're still going to start with 1 pound of Idaho potatoes. I also have here 1/2 pound of Yukon gold potatoes that we peeled, boiled, and put through a ricer. Take half of your grated potatoes, give this a good buzz in your food processor. Into this, we'll add 1/2 a large onion, 1 egg.
Something is cooking in the kitchen. Something that really know. Burger eating burgers. Burger eating burgers.
Matzo meal. Just ground up matzahs. Can you use breadcrumbs? Maybe. Similar. Maybe a little bit of panko breadcrumbs ground up in the food processor till they're fine. If you don't want to buy a box of matzo meal, kind of lasts forever. What does it taste like? A bit like cardboard. It's really just the binder, and once it's kind of toasted and cooked with the rest of the ingredients, you get a little more flavor out of it. And from here, just mash it all up, bring it all together. Get in there. You know, I love to have gloves handy. And what we're looking for is a consistency that just holds together when we pack it in. If it feels a little too wet, we can always sprinkle in a little bit more matzo meal. Just a little bit to get it to hold together. Okay, this is looking much better. Now you can really see. It doesn't stick to my hands, it's moist. Okay, cool. Okay, it's showtime. We are ready to fry. I love using a cast iron skillet for this because it holds the heat very well and keeps a consistent temperature. But you could do it in any old frying pan if you want. Heat up a generous amount of vegetable oil or olive oil is fine. I prefer just to use canola oil. I would say this is 2 cups of canola oil. It's about 1/2 inch. It depends how big your pan is, how much oil you need. And how do we know when the oil is the right temperature? Just take 1 strand of potato, and if you drop it in the oil and it starts to sizzle like that, right away you're good to go. So remember, the first thing we're going to do is make a little tester. We want to make a little test latke just to make sure that our flavoring is just right. Drop it in, let it cook without stirring it around. You could press it down just a little bit, however big you like it. Let it fry until it's golden brown and you can see it browning up around the edges. Give it a quick flip over to brown the other side and it's done. Okay, taste test is done and we are ready to fry. Don't overcrowd the pan. And what you do, you just come back, flatten them down just a little bit. Maybe they should be 1/2 inch thick, a little less than 1/2 inch. Use the side of the bowl to shape your latkes. If you like thinner latkes, just smush them down a little further. All right, as we're finishing up these latkes, we can start frying our other style latke. And you see, these are actually a little easier to form into these little patties. One good way to know they're cooked is when the bubbles slow down or go away around the edges. That's when you know to stop. So we're going to do a taste test here. Where did my taster go? Oh, very good. Safety first. And it's time for the taste test. Zoe, which one do you want to taste first? A little bit of applesauce or a lot of it? All right, you ready? Here, tell me what you think of that one. It's not hot. Yeah, that's good. Let's give it a try. Just for argument's sake, we're gonna make the classic style latke. This is how my grandma made it. A little bit of sour cream. No, come on, you gotta try both. Very scientific method that we have here. You know what, honestly, it's really close. One style, crispier. You get these little craggly edges, which are delicious. This style, this style, still crispy, but there's a lot more different textures going on. So you make the decision. You can decide what you want to do at your house.
Can I please have a plate?
Happy Hanukkah from Super Chef Dad.
Buggers!
Cheers.
Can I have another plate of these?
How many are you going to eat?